What's up? I'm Troubleshoot. It's a new week. We've got some brand new items in Rust. Easter is now over, so let's go through this week's 12 brand new items. Starting off at the very top, the Ape Lord Door for $2.50, the Chrome Bombshell Python $2, Cock AR $2.50, Deep Ruby SAP, same price, Disease Hatchet and Disease Pickaxe, the Hatchet for $2.50 and the Pickaxe for $2, the Factory New M249 $3, Lambbox $1.50, Starry Dream Thompson $2, Tire Hoodie and Tire Pants $1.50, and finally the Whittled Bloom Door for $2.50. Let's have a look at all of these in-game, have a look at the fancy effects, and then we'll speak about price speculation, seeing where exactly these will go in the future. So without further ado, here's what everything looks like in-game. Starting off at the very top, the Tire Pants and Tire Hoodie both add to the tire collection that we've seen recently with these two brand new additions. These are probably the best looking out of all of the tire skins that we've seen so far. They seem to really fit in with the whole general style to it, and I really do like how this has come together, more so than the roadside armor and things like that we saw in the past. It's got the same red and cyan lines across it, the same numbers, cobalt across the lower part of the hoodie, things like that. I really like how this came together compared to, again, the previous skins, though we'll definitely have to count this in when we speculate about price just now. From here, we've only got two more items before we get into buildables and weapons, starting off with the Disease Pickaxe for $2.50. This thing looks really nasty, and the Disease Hatchet, this thing also equally just as nasty. Don't want to get close to this thing. Let's have a look at it from the first person. The most noticeable thing about these two skins is obviously the transparency. The way that you can see through the metal part of this hatchet, or I guess the teeth at the front, is really, really cool. This has come together really well in a really good looking way. However, obviously this terrifying skin is not for everyone. It's more of a Halloween themed skin than anything really. I personally wouldn't want to have this thing anywhere near me, but if you're on the receiving end of a hatchet fight, maybe it's probably going to be a bit more suited to that kind of thing. The pickaxe is very similar. It's got transparency effects at the back, although just a tiny bit glitchy. You can see a bit of the, I guess, bottom coming through in a very thin sliver. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can sort of see that. But the rest of it does come together with this really sharp, I guess, toenail or something at the front of it. Really, really disgusting. This thing is seriously cool. But again, sort of Halloween themed more than anything. I would have liked to have seen it come out sometime then. Now it just sort of doesn't really make too much sense theming wise, but hey, I guess if you want it or want to stock up early for Halloween, this is a relatively good choice. From here, it's straight into weapons, and we've got 5 of these bad boys. First of all, the Factory New M249 for $2.99 or $3. This thing looks completely blacked out in the image. However, as you can see here, this thing is really, really shiny chrome. At much lower graphics settings, this thing may be a lot darker, but from the first person and of course the third person, this thing looks really, really shiny, at least at higher graphics settings. This thing is completely chrome except for the black plastic stock and I guess the foregrip at the bottom here. Everything else is completely chrome, painted in this very even way. Don't know why my dude's shaking, but you get the point. This M2 also features a red line at the front scope here. Not that you'll be doing much controlling when you're firing this thing, as it's just going everywhere. Ultimately, it's a pretty cool looking skin for $3, though it is the most expensive skin this week. Moving on, we've got the Starry Dream Thompson for $2, a nice short Thompson missing the stock at the back. It does look pretty good. I really do like these stars and dreamy / nursery rhyme kind of look to it. It's got the moon over there, bunch of clouds, and the scope unfortunately isn't anything too special. The front iron sight has a little white dot on it. The back iron sight, just this starry look to it. It's okay, nothing crazy pay to win or anything, but from the third person, I do like how this thing looks. It comes together pretty well with all of these little white and yellow spots, stars, things like that. It's pretty unique for a skin. Haven't seen much like it before, but hey, there you go. From here, the next thing up the list for $2 is the Chrome Bombshell Python. I guess it's got this aviation kind of fighter jet or fighter plane star at the front of it. Same eyes, teeth, things like that. It's pretty cool, pretty unique. Definitely says American, if I think of anything really. The iron sight is really clean. The front has a very neon-y type red, pink color to it, so it's really obvious to tell where the center of your screen is. It looks really, really good. Overall, it's a pretty unique skin with a star on the, I guess, speed loader, which is pretty cool. This thing really does look pretty great to hold. Again, super shiny and factory new kind of aesthetic. The next thing we're jumping straight back into, I guess, Fortnite for $2.50, the Deep Ruby semi-automatic pistol. We've seen this thing many times before in different skins, and this is just another addition to it. Looks like it's straight out of Fortnite or a Call of Duty mystery box kind of thing. Ultimately, it's not my vibe, but it's okay looking for what it is. If you like the previous skins, you're definitely going to want to add this to your collection. Again, the front iron sight is a nice bright red, easy to see, but overall nothing crazy unless you're really a fan of this weird obsidian 3D kind of texture looking thing. Ultimately, it's not for me, but maybe it is for you. Also, the trigger is rather unique. Being completely invisible, our finger's just floating here, but you can see this kind of alien type trigger much further behind it. Really weird. And finally, the Cock AR for $2.50 is this really angry looking rooster with a bunch of things scratched out on it, sticker on both sides. This thing's really cool for a short AK, nice and bright orange yellow. I really do like the theme of it. And of course, the iron sight has a really super obvious front red iron sight, which makes it super easy to spot things, and the nice weather vane at the back says farm under it for some reason, but besides that, this thing does look really cool. This one I'll definitely be showing you from the third person, so you can see the ruffled feathers at the bottom, flying down with a scratched out with 5 written above it, the nice wooden stock at the front, and of course this red textured flamey / chicken feathery front. Ultimately, the skin looks really cool. I like the theme of it. Definitely pretty sick. Not of course stealthy by any means, but if you like unique looking skins, this one's definitely up there. And with that, we've covered all the things that we can hold and wear. The last few items this week are all buildables. So, putting my glasses back on and using a building plan, the first item we'll have a look at is the lamb box for $1.50. This adorable furry friend can be added to your base, spruce up the place, super nice and bright white color. You can see the ram's horns on either side. At the front, this absolutely adorable huggable face. While this box is still made out of hardwood, it definitely does look cuddly to say the least. I really do like the look of this thing. It's another furry friend to add to your base if you're collecting this kind of thing, adds your furry friend rocks, etc. It's not for everyone, of course, but if you like collecting cutesy fart things, sorry about that, this definitely is up there. I really love how this thing looks. Beyond this, we've got 2 doors. The first is the Whittled Bloom wooden door, which adds to the Whittled Bloom box that we saw previously. Obviously, while a wooden door isn't the most secure thing, I really do like how this thing looks, the flowery nature of it, and of course the back has a unique design as well. Inside of a farm base or anything that's not too important to protect, this thing would fit in really, really well. The nice whittled texture to it really does add a handcrafted theme to it, which of course could add to the rest of your base's theme if you're going for something like that. And besides that, we've also got the Ape Lord Door for $2.50, the same price as the wooden door here, except this thing has some glowing effects to it, and this looks really, really mean. I love how this thing looks super cyberpunky / robotic, and in the dark, it looks even scarier. I'll flicker it to nighttime in just a moment, but this door is pretty menacing, and I definitely really love how this thing looks, the 3D texture to it, etc. If we flick over to midnight, you can see just how menacing this thing is, even spookier at nighttime. This thing looks really, really cool. I absolutely love how this door looks, and I'll definitely be picking it up over pretty much anything else this week. This is definitely my favorite skin, but without further ado, let's go ahead and speak about what skins you should actually consider purchasing. But of course, before we get into price speculation, just keep in mind it's just educated guessing, as much as looking at previous items can be drawn upon for predicting future prices. Buying skins and hoping to flip them for a profit in the future shouldn't be done. It's basically just as profitable as gambling, really. Buying skins with the hope of selling for a profit in the future really isn't a super smart idea. Buy skins if you like how they look and you want to play with them. Don't buy them with the intent of selling them. It's really, really not worth it. That being said, let's have a look at some items from sets and things like that, speak about their previous prices for different items, what they're going for now, and speculate about possible prices for things in the future. That being said, I'm not any kind of financial advisor. I'm only pulling information that you can get as well and sticking it together in a simple video. Anyways, clicking over to scmm.app where we can check out the prices of this week's items, how many have sold, things like that. Let's go ahead and speak about previous prices of related skins and what we think these will go for. We'll start off with the tire pants and tire hoodie, $1.50 each. If we have a look at these, you'll see that they're adding to an existing set, the tire collection, and some of these have lost value, mostly the road sign kit and the bandana here, but the previous tire hide shirt and pants have seemed to gain a little bit of value, including the poncho. Based on clothes being worth more than armor in this kit, I'd say these two would probably go the same way, but of course, that's just a wild guess. Who really knows where these things, or any skins for that matter, will go in the future? The next skin part of a set is the Deep Ruby SAP, which, as you can see, hasn't had a good track history for item value in the past. Pretty much all of these have unfortunately lost quite a lot of their value, so I don't think it'd be that good to invest in, hoping to flip for a profit in the future. The final skin this week, part of a set that I'm aware of, is the Whittled Bloom door over here for $2.50, adding to the Whittled Bloom box, which unfortunately didn't go too well last time. This thing was listed for $2 down to just $1 now. The wooden door's probably going to go the same way, as it's just, well, wood. Wooden doors previously haven't fared too well in the past, with most of them, if not all of them, losing quite a bit, if not all of their value. The Disease, Hatchet, and Pickaxe are part of a brand new set, so nothing else exists to tell them off of, but there are 99 hatchets in total, most of which have lost most of their value, sadly. The Disease Pickaxe for $2 takes the count up to 69 nice pickaxe skins. Most of them have again lost most of their value, sadly. So things aren't looking too good for either of these. The Lamb Box Furry Friend has no other friends to call home with, so we can only look at other small box prices. Again, most of these have lost most of their value, including unique themes like the pie box, things like that, and even glowing boxes have lost their value too. Even these neon named boxes, which surprisingly, even though the large boxes are worth quite a bit, these ones aren't so much, which is pretty surprising to see. The Ape Lord Door for $2.50, again, no other apes to be strong together with, but the metal door market is absolutely oversaturated at the moment with about 250 different door skin types. A lot of these have again lost a lot of their value, but there are more skins here that have gained value than other groups of skins. Well, until you look to a certain point. Certain themed doors like the Brutalist Door, Bombshell Sheet Metal, Adobe Decorative, Ultramarine, things like that seem to do pretty well. The Neon Easter Bunny door especially, it's about $10 now, up from just $2, which is really surprising. This Ape door over here, who knows where this thing's gonna go. And finally, moving on from buildables, we've only got weapons left. The Chrome Bombshell Python joins a huge list of Bombshell items, as you can see here. Most of them have gained a pretty good chunk of value, especially the green clothing, obviously because of the stealth mechanics. The building materials like the doors over here. However, the weapons on the other hand haven't been so lucky. Most of them have lost most of their value, except for the M2 at the very bottom here, the first item in this, the Bombshell SAR, semi-automatic pistol, by a small margin, so this might be going the same way as the SAP, but it does have a bit more use in that you'll find this in turrets, things like that. It is a slightly different vibe to these other ones. I don't really know where this thing is going to go. Based off of most of these gaining quite a bit of value, except for the weapons, it's probably going to follow the same theme. The factory new M249 unfortunately does have factory new friends. These ones have a preview image that is a bit more representative of what they are. This thing's not completely blacked out, but these have lost most of their value. The unique icon for it, I'm not too sure if that's going to have any impact on the value, but overall, previous items in the set have lost quite a bit of their value. The Starry Dream Thompson does actually have a few other Starry Dream friends. The semi-automatic rifle and the assault rifle here both have lost 50% of their value, down from $2 to just $1. So, following that trend, we're probably going to see the same thing here. Finally, the Cock AR has no other items in its set, but there are 254 other AKs that you could consider before this. Again, unfortunately, a lot of these have lost most of their value. The only notable ones keeping their value are the Black Diamond, Thundergold AR, Abyss AR, things like that, Kiss AR, although that's a bit more unique, hence it's gained quite a bit of value. This one, well, I'm not really too sure where it's gonna go. The closest skin I could consider comparing it to would likely be the Hair Trigger Python from last week, which went for $1.99, and currently this thing hasn't gone up on sale, at least very much, which is a bit weird. Yeah, nothing on the Steam market just yet, but I would assume it'd probably be going for somewhere around a relatively similar price to this. It's also got a animal theme to it. This is a rabbit, although I guess a bit different to this week's rooster on this weapon. I don't know, it's really tough to say where this thing's gonna go. I really do like how the skin looks, but is that enough to carry it into profitability? Well, I'm not really too sure. But with that, we've covered all of the skins this week. Hopefully you found this video useful, if not interesting. Thank you all for watching. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you again next week. Ciao.